People deluded, I'm back again. Good morning, and I hope you're all doing well and safe. I hope you're all in good spirits. I hope you've all been enjoying the football, people. People deluded, I'm back again. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and of course, good night, depending on whoever you are. And obviously, wherever you are, people, I'm having a good start to my Sunday. Saying that, I can't lie, I ran up the stairs just before this, and you can see my fitness is on the floor. Like I can play 11 aside. I can't run up the stairs. Bloody hell, man. Fitness is on the floor, people. But like I said, I hope you're all doing well and safe. Obviously, make sure you've hit the like button. Make sure you've checked out the pinned message, because obviously, while I'll be talking about Arsenal right now, we've got Arsenal tomorrow. Well, later on, we've got England, so I'll be doing a live stream for that. And then you've got Holland, Ukraine. So the content never dies, content never stops, people. I'm appreciative to have the community we have here and whatnot, people, because without you lot, there'd be no point speaking. And you lot, I don't know, man, you lot keep me motivated and keep me going and trying to build this channel, because you lot, so the support you guys give me is out of this world, man. You lot always supporting in your hundreds. You lot always, donating, getting the merchandise, sharing up news, all of these sort of things, people. I really appreciate all of what you're doing, man. Like, without you lot, as I just said, we can't get anywhere, people. As I said, please make sure you're checking out the pin message. And pardon me, shortly after this video is finished, obviously we'll be getting into England versus Croatia. I've got the England top on. I told you lot, people, it's 7 games. We're doing this. It's coming home. We're doing this. We're winning the Euros. Now, obviously, we're probably not, but let's just see how it goes. Personally, I think Croatia are going to tell us about ourselves and hand it to us, but let's see what happens, man. I think they're going to give us a shout, but in relation to Arsenal, there isn't too much to really speak about. People are going to get into it. Obviously, we've been linked with a right back. I like the look of him, to be honest with you. I think he's a wavy fullback based on what I've seen, and it would be something I would like. Obviously, Xhaka is getting closer to Roma or isn't getting closer to Roma, depending on what article you read. Personally, I'm tired of seeing the name Lucas Torreira, and I can't wait until he leaves Arsenal Football Club. He's been linked with a move. Beyond that, it's standard. It's standard stuff, really and truly, in that regards, people. Like, there actually isn't anything. Allow me to just handle some admin stuff, people. 1 second. So Arsenal make Van Beek contact, because they did allegedly, and like you're seeing now, apparently we're looking at Van der Beek, people, where again it's a new rumor every day, man. But yeah, we'll see what it is. Let me insert that to the timestamps, really and truly, because you know me, I'm a big fan of giving you guys exactly what you guys want. 1 sec, let's get rid of that. What did I say? Van der Beek. So let's put Van der Beek there. Big up to everyone locked in. Please make sure you're hitting that like button and checking out the pinned message. Yeah, man, I'm going to get into it in a sec, but what are you guys saying, man? DG said, yo, DG, someone is doing a TV episode on my family, and one of the co-hosts brought me the new Arsenal top. Shout out to you. Why are they taking pictures and videos and all of those sort of things of you? What thing is this? Nonetheless, big up yourself and shout out to you for getting the kit, man. A man said, sign Neves before Tuesday. Why Tuesday in particular? Not sure. Adam has said, sources state Arteta to play both midfield and manager roles after Arsenal fluff every possible transfer this window. Who says Arsenal fans haven't got banter? Patrick, shout out to you for being first. The 18th is just saying new day, new name. Bro, I told you it's wavy. You know, for me, at this moment in time, Arsenal have battered me, bruised me, defeated me so much that my expectations are on the floor, in that I get frustrated seeing other clubs bring in transfers and handle their problems, but it amuses me now. And if you go on the papers, you know, we're winning everything next year. Like I said, we're winning Tour de France, treble, because what? Van der Beek now, obviously this lad we've been linked to, we've been linked with Rodrigo de Paul, Aouar, Buendia. We can't sign him now. The names we've been linked with, probably about a whole new look team, probably be extremely attack heavy, but I'm pretty sure many people would be cool with that. But I understand your frustration, man. A man said Portugal. Oh yeah, cool. Portugal match on Tuesday. Medical should be done before. To be fair to you, again, you've got some sense to that. South London Finest has said simply, finally getting linked with some South American players, which is what I expected, especially with Edu. I don't think Edu's got the credentials when it comes to stuff, really. I don't think he's a mad scouting man. I don't think he's got a contact book. Really and truly, I don't really think Edu should have a role here. Or if he does, he shouldn't have as much power as he has, because I just see a novice. Like you said, oh, something's in my eye. Like you said, I thought we would have been linked with hella South American emerging talents and things like that, especially because Arsenal can't afford to go toe-to-toe. Or if not necessarily emerging talents, some guys that can plug gaps. And I don't think Edu's pulled his finger out at all, man. Man said, tomorrow we're going to be linked with the car that carried the match. Boy, you're true, man. True. Steve has said, morning, DG. Been working overnight security. Thanks for the entertainment, bro. I appreciate that, man. You know, do what you got to do, Steve. Get your money, pay your bills. And if I can make your time go quicker, I'm appreciative of that. Big up everybody that's locked in, people. You know, without you lot, there'd be no point. Love to hear your comments and things like that, man. Very interesting comments. So far, so good. Big up yourself as well. I mean, you know, Zillion, clearly the joke didn't bang first time round. You don't need to spam. It's not funny. It's crap. Come on now. Like, pattern up. Ake is saying, I don't even care about football. Gib got robbed. I assume you're talking about in relation to the UFC. I didn't watch it, but I'll be watching the highlights of whatnot. Kay is saying, Arsenal transfers are getting so frustrating, bro. I wish we could form a brand new club and leave this heartbreaking one alone. It's not good for our health, mate. Bro, do you know what it is? That's what you said it there. You got to protect your emotions, man. You've got to just find it amusing. Like I said, I find it amusing, the things we do now and the level of incompetence and whatnot. At the same time, I don't want to get too angry and too much in a fit because we don't know what the club is or isn't working on, but I get your point and get your frustrations. S has come back and said, DG, which player do you want to sign first? Out the ones we're linked with, I would love this new guy that we've been linked with, Vanderson. And I would actually, but first choice, I'm not going to lie, now I'm on the Depaul hype. Rodrigo Depaul, I'm on all of that, man. I need that. I think that would be a great signing, but knowing him, he's probably going to go Atletico Madrid. You know, they've just won the league. Hella South American, man. The way of life in Spain is probably more aligned to Italy / where he grew up in his homeland, than coming to England. Obviously playing in Europe as well. And again, I don't know if Arteta is a manager where despite all of this, he can twang you and tempt you to sign for the club. Matt has said Arsenal's transfer window, looking at, interested in, intrigued by, potentially going for, set up a meeting, going to call, made contact with. Matt, 100% facts, man. 100% facts, man. Yeah. And is all of that sort of stuff. Oh, we love a drama. Certain clubs are linked with a man, and you don't hear no rumors. You just see them medicals and all those things being done. With us. You know, we start doing this drama where we follow him from the dentist home, gets on a plane. It's always a long, dragged out process. It's never streamlined, smooth and easy, man. It is what it is, though, man. We keep moving. With that, it's 8 minutes in, 115 of you locked in. Please make sure you're hitting the like button. I think let's crack on with some of the transfer business. There's only 43 likes, so some of you are being incredibly lazy, but I think it's time to get on with the contract stuff. I'm going to start with Donny van der Beek because that's the one I've just seen just now, and I don't think there's any truth in it, but it'll be quite amusing. And for what it's worth, obviously you can see there's a variety of reasons why Arsenal would be linked with Van der Beek. He's not, first and foremost, he's not playing at United. Obviously he's got the Bergkamp links. We need creativity. You can see why. I don't think it's going to happen. I don't know what's going to happen with Van der Beek at Man United. You know, second season he might be given more of a chance, but again, if it looks like Ollie's going to stay, sign a new deal and doesn't necessarily rate him, something needs to change. And I would take him. I think he's a good player, don't get it twisted at all, but I just think it's a journalist being hella creative and leveraging his situation at United and the need for Arsenal certain players and just using that really and truly. Beyond that, I can't see it happening. I don't think it makes any sense. But for what it's worth, as you can see here, people, Arsenal make Van der Beek contact Marcelo to Leeds. What a signing that would be if they could get the Brazilian international in Yorkshire. But Van der Beek to Arsenal apparently, well, let me actually go to the actual article, people. Well, they say that's the article. We'll look at that one in a sec. But 90-minute claim the Gunners have made contact with Manchester United over a potential move for Donny van der Beek. I mean, unless 90 minutes are in the know, which I strongly doubt, you know, they get paid off chatting nonsense and gossiping, so there probably isn't anything in this, people. Apparently, we're looking at him again. It doesn't say anything else. It doesn't specify anything else in relation to making contact. So, have we made contact with agents to gauge potential interest or feasibility of a loan or something? It's not making sense, people. It's really not. Again, let me go on Google and see if there's any more creditable things or anything else. But again, everybody's making contact. Let's see this. Skip straight through the nonsense. See what we can see, people. Same old again, you know, and thinking about it, they would want 40 million for Van der Beek. And again, they're not wrong in that, and it's not the biggest of fees, and I think they should. But for Arsenal, anyone buying Van der Beek, surely you sit there and go, hang on, he ain't played for Real, he ain't played for you lot since moving. We heard all this hype, he's not playing. You might as well half that or 25, 30 million pound that and give us a little deal. But for what it's worth, I think it's staying. As we've all said, you know, there is Arsenal ties. Mr. Dennis Bergkamp is Mr. Arsenal, and Van der Beek is going out with his daughter. So obviously there's a lot of links there. You would have thought he would have come to Arsenal first, but he picked United, and that one there is dead in the water. I'd entertain it. I'd be open to it, but it's not going to happen, is it? It's just a hype one. That one there is dead in the water, really and truly. It's never say never. Things happen, people. But for what it's worth, let's entertain 90 minutes and Mr. Ross Jackson. Arsenal to push forward with the deal for Brighton's Bissouma. So Ross Jackson, if you're listening, we all know you're just trying to pay your bills and talking nonsense in these articles if it doesn't happen, because we've heard for weeks Arsenal to firm up their interest in Bissouma, this, that, and the other. You know, for me, what gives me a bit more confidence about maybe getting Bissouma is Gabriel. Obviously, Gabriel's doing Twitter fingers and entertaining it on social media. You know, touch your head one time if he's coming and all of those sort of things. So I hope the Mali International rocks up at the Emirates. I want it to be, people. I really want it. Skipping to the main part, apparently 90 Minute understands Arsenal are looking to strengthen their interest in the midfielder. Liverpool and Leicester have also contacted Brighton with a regard to a possible move for Bissouma, though his unwillingness to move so far north make the Gunners firm favourites to secure his signature. Again, I don't know the truth in that, but again, there's no solid links apart from the fact that Arsenal have an interest in the player. There's no contacts been made, medical this, that, and the other. Do you get it? It's just when you look past the headline and past the sensationalism of these tabloids, there's nothing there, people. And I mean, we've been linked with Locatelli, Correa, Van der Beek, DePaul, Neves, Ben White. But I'm telling you, the amount of players we're looking at signing allegedly, we can win the league straight away. We're not even in the Tour de France, like I said yesterday, and we probably win that. But in relation to Van der Beek, that one there's some nonsense. Let's look at Arsenal being linked with a new right back. But I see a couple of you lot typing and having things to see. DG, did you see the linked England starting 11? No, I haven't. So if you could update me and plug me on that, then I would love to know. I don't know, man. Apparently, man are saying Trippier at left back. So again, we've started the banter early. You know, it wouldn't surprise me having done a back three for the majority of qualifying. He'll kick off his first game with a back four. That would be such a Southgate thing to do. Oli will destroy him. He's going to be gone soon. I think that's about Van der Beek. To be honest, you know, it's not good for United, the manager, or him, you know, if they can't find a situation. Sometimes signings don't work out. Personally, it feels that it hasn't worked out, but it's like, it's not like he's been given a proper chance to make a meal of it. I don't know for his mentality. There must be something that he's not showing to not play to this level, but I don't know, man. What are you saying here? Luke Shaw and Ben Chilwell to miss out on starting place with Kieran Trippier picked at left back for England versus Croatia, and Jack Grealish is also set to be dropped in favour of Raheem Sterling. I'm Raheem Sterling FC, but fair play, Neil. Last time we beat them, we played a back four. I'm not criticising the decision to change. I'm just saying when you look at all of these other teams, yeah, they'll change systems, but I don't think the Spaniards, the French, the Germans, a couple of other countries, they're going to make radical changes. And I just feel Southgate's been making a mess of this, people, really and truly. That's just me anyways. But you are right in that. I mean, for me, Trippier's had a decent season, but you should be going with natural left-footers on that row if you can, if you're not going with a back three. Play Shaw, Ben Chilwell, who's been doing all right. Jack Grealish, you've given him the number 7. He should be the talisman. And, you know, I'm upset Jack Grealish is dropped, if true, because it's Jack Grealish, but I've said I think at all moments you should have You should always try to be starting Foden, Mount, and Grealish. But I said in the previous video, you need to start at least two of the three. So if Grealish isn't starting, but I see Mount and Foden and Sterling's there and Sancho's there, Kane's up front, I say, all right, cool. But my first opinion is Grealish needs to play. You know, that is your talisman. On the left, in the 10, behind, I don't care. Grealish needs to play. So it's big decisions, but we need to remember it's tournament football, in it. So we just need to be careful, man. We just need to be careful. I would wonder. I want to see where my problems with that, with that squad would be probably for England is who's the centre halves, because Maguire, you know, is touch and go with his fitness. There's Stones there, you know. Personally, you know, I don't rate Tyrone Mings at all, man. You know, for me, I don't think at all. And I have faith in the players. I don't have faith in Southgate because he's not handled this properly. He's switching formations at the wrong time. He's not really testing out formations for a long period of time. Also on that topic, I don't think he knows how to use his players. And I just think he's the only international manager that is playing Ben Godfrey and all of these guys that are not going to the tournament in games. It's not helping. You know, it just feels that it's a bit of a youth club under Southgate. I like how everybody's together. Everybody's on the same page. He's good in that regards, man. Southgate low-key keeps shooting themselves in the foot. They do. I'll support it. You know, I got the England shirt on. You know, I'm supporting the man then. But hopefully we do a thing, man. Hopefully we do a thing. Man, I said, what's my thoughts on the Euros so far? Donovan, bit underwhelmed in the games I've seen so far. You know, Lukaku, that's the first goal in the first half I saw. Bit of a lack in quality, lacking in tempo. You know, bit of a boring watch so far, but hopefully it can get better. True say these are the first games. Apparently the England lineup versus Croatia is Trippier, Stones, Mings, Walker, Phillips, Rice, Mount, Foden, Sterling, Kane. So again, you know, Mount and Foden are there. Probably doesn't even want to start both of them really and truly. Sterling, all right, cool. Probably should be Grealish. Don't think you need you need Phillips and Rice, to be fair with you, but again, you're playing against some quality Croatian players. Walker's always playing. Trippier at left back. To be fair, he's got Mings there. I think that's where it's going to get let down. Like, anytime you're starting Mings against the best team in the group, you're in problems, people. You're not serious, are you, at all? Like, it's a bit of a madness. On that topic, though, as I said, check out the pinned message, people, because obviously after this live stream, I'll be doing a live stream for England. Shout out to the 23 people who have hit the like button so far. I'd love to see you all there. Obviously, later on in the evening, it's Holland versus Ukraine. So if you're one of them where you're going to be sticking around, make sure you hit the like button on that. Even if you're not going to be there, do what you can for the engagement. And every day someone else is telling me how they've purchased a DG product. So hit that up if you're looking for water bottles, fanny packs, face masks, t-shirts, hoodies, and the rest of it, people. But that's that in relation to England, people. Moving away from that, what else are you lot saying? Big up the 200 of you locked in. Please make sure that's reflected in the likes. Where are we at right now, folks? We're at 63 likes, so it could be a lot better, but we keep moving. We keep moving. Southgate has started already. Southgate trying this depth thing. To be fair, and the fact that Tomori ain't even in the squad's a joke. We want everyone, but we won't get anyone. Mohammed, have a bit of faith, man. Tino said, good morning, DG. How you doing, bro? I'm good, my guy, man. Anytime you lot support this thing, I'm happy, man. So yeah, definitely with what we saw, and you know, happy to hear Eriksen is in better fitness and better health and whatnot. But you know, I'm not in any situations like that. How can I complain? You know, I've got my health. People around me got their health, so I've got good things going for me. Got to be there, man. Exactly. Southgate plays guys that aren't going to the tournament in games where he could refine his system. That's what I mean. You know, we're going to start. Listen, we all think he's going to play a back three, and we've all been saying it wouldn't surprise us to now see him go with a back four. I don't care about a 3 or 4, but it's just that I haven't seen any consistency with what he's trying to do. Fair enough, Spain are hardly the league leaders, but the world league leaders, but you know what you're going to get from the Spaniards. You know what you're going to get with the Italians, you know, and even if you didn't, and somebody managed these countries and they want to try something, they're going to have to be showing, man, all through qualifying what they're trying to do. We've been freestyling, calling up random brothers, and I got no faith. It's just Southgate. I've got no faith in Southgate. The players is one thing, but I just got no faith in I got no faith in him. Donovan said, to be fair to Arsenal, other than Buendia, no clubs have signed anyone, and the media loves linking us to everyone. That's also fact. I don't even agree with Rice and Phillips at centre mid. Need more of an engine there. Would possibly try Mount with Rice. If Henderson isn't fit, then folding at Cam Grealish on the left. I would as well. But to be fair, that is a very attacking heavy lineup. That's my lineup, 100%. But I don't think he's got the minerals for it. It would be an attacking heavy one. And I can understand Rice and Phillips in centre mid against Croatia when you've got Luka Modric, Rakitic, and the rest of them. Natural Leah said, every day Arsenal is signing someone different. Sounds like a verbal meme, to be honest. Reality is Kroenke ain't signing nobody until we sell players, bet you all. It's been a busy week, but here it is, people. Dermot's been missing. Not sure how Tomori got completely snubbed in favour of Mings. This is why people have criticisms of Southgate. Bro, I don't even think the Southgate know who Tomori is, despite managing him. I don't know, man. You know, is he watching them sort of football? I don't know, man. But moving away from England, let's deal with that in the next live stream, people. Let's get into Arsenal's. Let's finish up with this Arsenal transfer business. So, yeah, Arsenal have been linked with a new right back now. From what I've seen of this right back, I like him. He looks good 1v1. He looks strong going forward. He looks like a typical Brazilian sort of player. He looks like a modern-day fullback. Allegedly, he signed a new deal at Gremio, and that doesn't make a difference. But that would probably be that would probably make the difference in the degree. Us Arsenal fans are hungry right now. That's why we're taking all the bait 100%. We're desperate. We're starving. You know, we've got scrubs at the club. We've got scraps. We need better players. 1 second, people, while I bring this up. So, yeah, people, as you lot know, he's this 19-year-old Vanderson. I'm sure he hit the headlines and became a lot of people became aware to him because he scored a good goal a few weeks ago, whatever. But from what I've seen of this 19-year-old, I like him. He's good 1v1. He's got pace. He can carry a ball. You know, he is the modern day fullback. Obviously, we probably all need to watch him to identify how good is he 1v1, how good is he at tracking runners, how good is his positioning and all of those things. But at 19 years of age, you can't imagine it's going to be too high up there. So it's a bit raw. Why I would want this signing in principle is because while I want established talents, there's footballers everywhere. Now, if this is a 19-year-old described as having potential, then he might not come cheap. But this is an unearthed gem. Signing him for a respectable amount might be a bit cheaper and more feasible than going for the typical names we've been linked with in Europe, people. And obviously at 19 years of age, you know, it ties in with the future. Apparently, one of Gremio's, and that's the same team as Ronaldinho, for what it's worth. What was all of that about? One of Gremio's main revelations in recent months does not have the prominence of strikers, but was already drawing the attention of European clubs and the coaching staff of the Brazilian Olympic team. So obviously, if he's close, and it's gone on to say he's closely being watched by Arsenal now, Martinelli, Gabriel, they're allegedly in the Brazilian team or hoping to be. You know, I'm pretty sure our scouts or Arsenal technical staff will be watching the Olympics just to track the progress of our two players. You know, what's the better time to then look at this 19-year-old, assuming he gets called up, you know, because there are a couple of Brazilian talents you could take if you get this Vanderson done. And for me, if worse comes to worse, I'm terrible at spelling names, but there's another Gremio player, 23 years of age. I fell in love with this player from a footballing point of view when I see him a few years ago. I want him, you know, I really want this guy. You know, he's still not really burst on the scene, but Matheus Henrique could be a good signing as well. Very diminutive, can pass a ball forward. Still waiting for him to explode and go up several levels, but he's ready, in my opinion. And we could do a lot worse, people. So for me, you could get this Matheus Henrique guy. You could get a new right back, and you could do it for relatively affordable sums. But again, and this is where I'm looking at Edu, because Edu, for me, if I'm hearing you should be all over this. Nobody should know this player at Arsenal better than Edu, because you are Brazilian for one, because you worked with the Brazilian FA. Now, he might not have been on their attention then, but you must have someone you can call that says, oh, what do you think about that Vanderson, bro? Yeah, I like him. He's just played for Gremio. This is good about him. That's good about him. This about his personality. That about his personality. Them sort of things there. I really want to see Edu pull it out to this window, because I don't see what he's about. I don't know what he's about. So, yeah, apparently he's drawing interest of Arsenal. We all know he signed when we were allegedly linked with him first. He did sign a new Gremio deal. Apparently, it doesn't make a difference. And apparently, the English club follows the development of the the lateral in true color. Again, Google Translate. And Van der Sar's staff is already aware of interest in the athlete. The information was published by journalist George Nicola and confirmed by GE. In addition to Arsenal, a series of surveys and contacts were also made to find out about the defender's situation. This week, Gremio even renewed its contract with the lateral until 2025. So he signed a new 4-year deal. So it gives them a stronger negotiating point of view to thingy from. The Brazilian team is also eyeing the player's growth and have been watching Van der Sar for a few months. The right back is 19 years old and could be an alternative for the Olympic team this year. However, he was not called up for the last friendlies played, and he's got basically until June the 17th to prove something. Van der Sar emerged at the end of 2020, taking up space in the Gremio cast after the departure of Ogiela, and soon established himself in the main group. In his debut in the Brasileiro against Kera, the right back scored a great goal. That's the goal that's gone viral, is what I was talking about. He is at the moment Rafinha's reserve in the role, but in addition to the match for the Brazilian, he played in both matches against Brasiliense for the Copa do Brazil as a starter. So there's a lot of development to do, but this is who we need, people of tomorrow, people. There's scope to grow, but again, will we get him? Probably not. It's probably just going to stay being paper talk, people. So it is what it is in that regards to that player, people. What else have we got here, man? Matheus Henrique is balling at Juventus in my FM save. Good day, DG. Big up, everyone. Hi, DG. What's wrong with Arsenal? The usual self as usual. Hope you'll talk about even Eriksen. I've spoken about Eriksen a lot. Come on, peeps. Like up the live. Let's show some appreciation to this young man. Big up the OG naturally. Appreciate that. And like he said, hit that damn like button. Let's get to 100 likes. Big up yourself. Man says, salam and big up DG, consistency king. I don't know for being the king, but I appreciate that praise, Somali speakers. What's happened to Reece Nelson? Psh, just not played enough football, broski. Just not played enough football. Big up DG. Looks like Edu links again. I don't mind it, but it seems like the only type of business he's capable of. Is it really? Because he ain't showed me nothing. Again, I could be wrong. But the Marie business, was he involved in the Marie? Because suddenly you hear he's not Brazilian, he's Spanish, he spent time at Man City. You could say Arteta knew him and then Edu kind of signed off on it. It's like with Martinelli, first things first, a lot of us were saying, yo, that's Edu. Suddenly it's coming out that Edu had nothing to do with it. So what is Edu's legacy so far? What has Edu done? You know, at least Arteta can have a lot of criticisms, but at least he's won an FA Cup. At least he can say, while I don't think our defense has improved to that scale, we've statistically got the third best defense in the league. So while there's a lot of criticisms for Arteta, at least he can say he's done something. What has Edu done? I'm not trying to criticize him because he could be about to do a madness. I'm just saying, as a fan, what evidently has he done to me as an Arsenal fan since he's become this technical director, a job that he's underqualified for? What has he done? Like, somebody rise it up. What's he done? What's the legacy? What players he bust? I hear he wanted Partey and he pulled his finger out and did a madness with Partey. But we heard Emre wanted Partey. We heard the club wanted Partey. The club wanted Partey when Emre came in. You know, we heard Francis Cahigio wanted Partey before he even became this Thomas Partey he is right now. You know, so what is the legacy? What is it? What did he do? Like I said, Marie could have been his suggestion, but you could say Arteta's there. You know, that's Arteta's suggestion. You could say Edu had some part to play in Martinelli, but you're hearing this Francis Cahigio and them and there. So it's like, what has Edu done? Now, obviously, I'm not saying he's not doing anything, but as a fan, evidently, what has he done? Because to me, technical director, you know, you should be at the forefront of things. And I was gassed about Edu coming, not because of Edu, because let's be real, he weren't an amazing player. He's not an Arsenal legend or anything. He's cool in that. But it's the way he was talking, you know, especially when he was saying things like, I want to travel with the squad, be a part of it and that, which is something I like and what he does. But then when I look at the nuts and bolts and what I believe a technical director should be doing, learning from hindsight and even the hindsights that you weren't here, we all know Arsenal's problem with not selling players for any top money, not renewing the squad. So learn from hindsight, applying better foresight. Definitely not bringing in Willian, giving David Luiz a new deal, and not to criticize David Luiz. It's just longevity. It feels like Arsenal don't like to fix a problem when they can fix it. They just leave it and leave it. It's like, you know, when you're a kid and you've got homework from several lessons, and it might be 2 weeks before that coursework or homework is due, and you don't take it seriously. Suddenly it all piles up. Yes, the club is a mess and there's a lot of things he has to deal with, but I just don't know what Edu's about, because I'm not seeing you bring in emerging talents. You know, I'm not really seeing you utilize agent contacts for significant signings. And so far, your legacy, it might not just be you. You know, shout out to you, because you must have helped clear out Mesut Ozil and them sort of players. But all I see is Cedric ain't worked out. Willian ain't worked out. David Luiz, new deal. Not really looking to fix Arsenal in terms of longevity. You know, again, Saliba, what's going on there? Because he was brought in under Raul Sanllehi, but what's the handling of his development? You're technical director. You should be thinking about it. Yeah, Arteta, make your decision on Saliba, then we loan him out, because that's what you should be doing on the technical front. You know, you should be identifying players. You know, we shouldn't be debating however many right backs are coming and things. And Edu's legacy, for me, is not looking standard. And this summer, you know, I need to see Edu pull his finger out, because I haven't seen nothing from him in particular. Like I said, him and Arteta, the parallels are the same. Both gone into roles really they're underqualified for. Both gone into roles where they've been given a lot more power with no real justification to back that up. You know, and for me, Edu tore up the scouting structure, which I don't mind that if you want to fix it up. But why you haven't shown a contingency plan or a reason for that? And again, it takes time, and I do have a bit of sympathy for Eddie, because he clearly does a lot more than I'm giving him credit for. But that's why I say, evidently, as a fan, I'm a fan. I don't work for Arsenal. It's not my job to know, oh no, he was actually the guy who helped with this, he did that. My job is just to go to work, make sure I'm being a good human in society, paying my bills, going and looking at my team, knowing that. And for me, are we sitting there? We've been linked with Isaac, like the whole world is linked with Isaac, but is he sitting there and saying, you know what, Aubameyang signed the deal, he ain't going to be around forever, we need to fix that up? You know, we've needed a creative, what I call 8.5, that is kind of shifted towards more of a natural 10 with Smith Rowe and Odegaard's emergence. We needed someone to play next to Partey that can do things like that since last summer. So why are we now in the summer, a year from now, and it's still early in the market, but we're moving a bit shaky? We're being linked with lazy targets. You know, when you give David Luiz a new deal, when you bring in Willian, you know, when you try and do smart things like get Odegaard on loan with no sell-on, no buy clause, these are short-term solutions. And the longer you ignore problems, the bigger they get. And for me, I've just seen no justification for Edu yet. And I like Edu a lot, but what has he given to the cause? I don't agree with fans saying he shouldn't be on holiday and things, because you can do transfers without being in the country. But I just don't. If Edu leaves tomorrow, what's his legacy? You know, at least Mislintat can say, well, I brought in Torreira, I brought in Guendouzi. It didn't work out, but Guendouzi could have done this. Torreira could have done this. At a point, they were decent. You know, at least he brought in Leno. Leno's been there. He helped with Aubameyang. Raul Sanllehi helped with a couple contracts. He bust Saliba. You know, again, apparently he worked heavily on the Aubameyang deal. What's Edu's legacy? If he leaves tomorrow, what's your legacy? What is the legacy? What did you do? What have you bringing? What have you done? Evidently, and obviously, I hope there's more of movement, because again, what I hope we're doing is sitting down, telling players where they stand, and in the next few weeks, seeing the wheels in motion, because Richard Garlick has started his role. We're going to need to see something, but I need to see from Edu, for everybody, you know. Arteta, for you, I'm not, listen, it can get long for you before Christmas, but you said you need a pre-season. I think you're not going to have an amazing preseason just because players are playing all about the place. You're not really going to have the bulk of your players. But cool, you said you wanted preseason. So make sure you back up, because I know going into preseason, you need to find more consistency. You need to improve how we attack. You need to keep improving how we defend. You need to improve phases of play. We all know what Arsenal needs to improve. So come the start of the season, I'm not saying it needs to be amazing, but I need to see those building blocks. Edu, fair enough, cool. You just joined the club them times last season and whatnot. This year, show me something. Show me, because come the end of the window, I don't think everything's going to be done, but I definitely want a right back. I definitely want a centre half, at least one central midfielder. If that doesn't happen, then I'm looking at you, Edu. I'm looking at you very funny. And the problem is you've got Edu, you've got Arteta with the issues we've just spoken about, and the fundamental person at the top, which is Stan Kroenke. And we all know how that one goes, people. So it is what it is in that regards, but it's ultimately the legacy. What's he done? Seriously, what's he done? Again, I'm not trying to say this to get him. I'm being ignorant to it. I want to be proven wrong. What is Edu's legacy in this technical director role? What has he done? Like, what's he done? Who's he brought in? Who's contracted? He said, what good deed has he done? I'm just asking a serious question, bro. 8.5 is 100% the new 10, man. That's how the game's gone, man. Smash the like button. Try. I appreciate that. You tell them, DG, you're 100% right. I don't know if I'm 100% right, but yeah, bro, this is it. Matthew, he brought in Kai. And I don't even mind working with agents. Look how that's helped Wolves or helped Wolves. The problem is you got to put money where the mouth is, you know. Shout out to Edu. Apparently did a madness for Balogun as well. But you got to put your money where your mouth is. Look at Wolves. They were able to get good talents because they weren't messing around. You know, I'm sure Kaya Jarupkin has a number of quality talents on his hand. You know, West Ham had a better relationship with him. I'm sure he was the agent that got them Mascherano and Tevez once upon a time. I know it was booky and illegal when it happened, but you get the point. There's no point, you know. You can't get his elite talent. So what's the point? And we've just got further and further into bed with agents, and we're doing it the wrong way. You know, there's actually nothing wrong with having good relationships with agents. Arguably, that's even more beneficial for a club because they might help you. You know, Arsenal, in theory, Arsenal and this other club might be in for a player. That club's offering a better package. They're doing other things, but because we're cool with this agent, it's not right. But he's helping us out. He's scratching our back, so we're scratching his sort of thing. Pause. There's always that. But we're not doing it right. It's crazy, man. True Sayer said, Edu with Raul made their agent Kaya's signings as a priority, using Arsenal to get their cut over footballing reasons. Just a fan has said, imagine your stream has more football content than Sky Sports, BBC, and ITV put together. Your show, once again, is always on point. Great show. Do you take PayPal for your merchandise? Blessings. Yeah, man. Well, PayPal, we accept everything on that website. PayPal, everything. Hit that up, man. I appreciate that. Just a fan. What was Balogun promised when he signed? We ain't giving him chances. Daniel, I would say a promise is a comfort to a fool, is what I was told. You know, the club owes you nothing. Balogun, if he walked away, owes people nothing. What I always say with these young players, issues getting real now. You know, I agree with you. I definitely would have liked Balogun to get some minutes in the Premier League towards the end of the season, so he knows what he needs to work on in pre-season. Now the romance is gone. You've signed a new deal. We've retained the talent. That helps Arsenal, because if you don't make it work out, if it don't work out for you, cool. It is what it is. You know, we're going to probably sign a next striker. You could be moved on. Things are getting real for Balogun. So they could have promised him anything. But I'd imagine they promised how he was going to look in the first team. For Balogun, I would say first week, have a conversation with Arteta, because there's 40 Premier League games at this moment in time. 40 games, 38 in the Prem. You know, you've still got Martinelli. Lacazette allegedly signed a new deal. We're going to persist with Aubameyang. You know, so I think Martinelli should be playing ahead of Balogun up front every day of the week. So where are you going to feature? How are you going to play? These are the conversations he needs to ask. But I will say a promise is a comfort to a fool. Same way, Balogun, if Balogun thinks this is the best place for him to develop, it is, well, it is. But minutes are currency, and I hope the club have assured him next season you're getting minutes, but we'll have to see. We really will have to see. It's a mad one, man. It's a mad one. Absolute mad one. Make sure you're hitting the like button, people. I appreciate everybody that's locked in, man. Some interesting comments all the way. Arsenal falling off bad, exactly. Gabriel and William, to be fair, cool. He worked on the Gabriel deal, but can I give a man credit for that? Because, pardon me, we already signed Pepe last season, so we must have a decent sort of relationship with Leo to a degree. I don't know what significantly Edu has done. It just feels like the things that I can praise him for, Marie and Arteta, you can sit there and say, but this guy knew this guy, that. It's not evidently clear that's his legacy. And I'm not saying this to attack Arteta. You know, if you're not doing your job and I'm not doing my job, we face criticism or fingers are pointed. So I just want to know, what are you doing? Like, what are you giving to the cause? Because as much as I say Kroenke needs to spend and all of these sort of things, the variables that we can control, what are we doing? You know, somebody signed off on William getting a new deal. Whether it was Edu or Arteta, somebody tried to give Mustafi a new deal. Dave, let's be real. As much as there's long-lasting mistakes at Arsenal Football Club, there are mistakes being made by Mikel Arteta, Edu, and new people that is reminiscent of what we was criticizing Wenger and Emre and all them other executives that were there. You know. Because realistically, nothing to do with David Luiz. Last season, well, the season before the season has just finished, you say to David Luiz, cool, thanks for the memories, move on. Or you say, marginalized role. Now, I'm not saying that to criticize Luis. I'm sure even his biggest of fans will, let's be real, a serious team or a team that wants to get top four, he's never one of the first names on the team sheet. The same goes for Granit Xhaka. For them two players in isolation, they had decent seasons. Nothing to do with them. They're not picking themselves. They didn't bring the people here. The fact that us as Arsenal fans say them man, they are leaders and prepared to accept the lesser evils and the mistakes they come with because of what they quote unquote bring to the squad, that tells you where Arsenal's at. And with respect to them, we're starving. It's scrubs. It's Robbie. It's dead. Like it's mad. This is the issue, man. And this is it as well, Samuel. We'll judge Edu at the close of the window. No excuses for anyone. That's it. That's it. 100%. Big up yourself, deluded. If you had 100 million budget, how would you spend it? Enough love from New Zealand. Appreciate that, Adrian. 100 million is not going to do much, but for me at this moment in time, I'm seeing what it must can get me a right back. It must can do me a right back. It must can grab me a centre mid. You know, allegedly ours 30 million euros. Allegedly Basuma's about 40. So one of them and a right back, and I'll see where the money takes me. But I'd say that. But either the pool or our will be the first port of call, and I'll be looking at centre half and right back. But I don't think it's gonna go far, innit? Man said Gabriel and Willian ain't good enough. Gabriel's good enough, definitely, but I'm not giving him crowd for Gabriel. You know, Willian's not good enough, 100%. I don't know where you're going with Gabriel. Gabriel's the best centre half at this football club, and he proved it for a large period before they rubbed him out and didn't look after his development. Still waiting to replace David Dein. Someone who could bring quality players needed. Exactly. And you see the thing with David Dein, he knew how to save Wenger from his madness. And David Dein cared about making money. He just cared about Arsenal equally. And that's what we need, you know. I think Van der Beek will be a good signing. Do not write him off. Give him games. He will perform quality player. I don't think anybody's given Van der Beek any criticism. I don't think anybody's wrote him off. I can't speak for United fans, but for myself. But you know, you'd have to imagine if you can't persist with Van der Beek in United next season, something needs to change. You know, the man needs to play football, and United need not a storyline, man. Why wouldn't I want our? There's a lot of players I want. Our, DePaul, I want just about any quality player. Best development for Balogun is for him to go on loan. Potentially, minutes are currency. You know, where is he most likely to play 20 league games minimum? I don't know, man. I don't know what we're gonna do, but we need to pick hit the like button, people. There's 300 of you locked in, but we need to pick the right loan for players. Guys can't just be going on loan for the sake of it, because sometimes loans can be, not every player needs to go on loan. Some need to be kept closer to the squad. Some will not shine on loan. Some need to go out on loan, but it needs to be the right loan. And Arsenal haven't always picked the right loans for players. You know, it needs to be the right loan for Balogun if it's going to happen. And what I mean by that is, first and foremost, try and see what manager he's good. Manager, you know, typically players go to clubs on loan. The manager's there. Manager gets sacked. Things happen in it. That is football. That happened a bit with, well, not really happened, but football is ultimately about opinions. And if you've been following Matthew Smith of Arsenal with his time at Swindon and Charlton, you can see how opinions can sway things, because he started off well and through no fault of his own, it kind of went pear-shaped. But, you know, if you're looking at a loan club, ideally you look at the manager. What's the manager's record with young players, especially when you're going to loan them to other clubs where there's pressure on the manager and he can't really develop players that's not his, you know? What's the record with young players? What's the ethos with the club? How many young players are currently in the squad? You know, we've got a loan manager, so maybe we're doing better. We have picked slightly better loans this season, been a bit more of a success rate, but the right loan, whether that's in the Championship, in Germany, in the Premier League, the right loan. For what it's worth, I would like to see him at least for the first half of the season, given some, you know, 20 minutes here, a 30 there, a 15, a 5, a 10, these little things. And then obviously what you do with that, that's how you get for more minutes. And then obviously when we play in the League Cup, play him in that, see how he does until January. And then if it's become abundantly clear that you need to do something, then let's loan him out. But if he's given if someone made a proper loan offer to him, I'd let him do that, man. You know, Brentford were looking at him. You know, Brentford ain't got the biggest of squads. I know he's probably never going to start ahead of Ivan Toney, but, you know, Ivan Toney, Balogun, I'm a bit ignorant Brentford fans. I don't know any other strikers, But Ivan Toney in your way, Arsenal, you've got Martinelli, who for me, that should be, if Lacazette and Aubameyang are not going to be the strikers, we should be developing. So Balogun would already lose out if I was manager in that regard to a slight degree. You've still got Lacazette and Aubameyang on paper. They are going to be used ahead of him. So there's decisions to be made, but make the right decision for Balogun. And for Balogun, I hope his agent's a good agent, so his agent won't. But what I'd say, Balogun and these young players, you can't listen to a damn thing Arsenal and Arteta say. They've got no allegiances to you. Yeah, they would. Yeah, listen, I'm sure he thinks you're a quality player. I'm sure he rates you. But let's be real. Arteta ain't got time to dedicate his life to Balogun. Arteta's job is to get Arsenal in the top 4 and get all of these things. And when push comes to shove, is he going to lean on Balogun? In the same way he leaned potentially on Smith Rowe and Saka, potentially, yes. But as you know, typically managers ironically, you should be braver when things aren't going wrong. But they try not to do things. And there's been environments at times, young players, where I think fans would have actually benefited from it. Because when we're seeing a Saka, Smith Rowe, and seeing the season we had last year, we're prepared to say, all right, cool, these young players, they give us some bit of hope in this F3. That would have happened. But I don't think he's going to lean on Balogun when push comes to shove. So I'd say he needs to. He's got no allegiances to Balogun. His job is to try to get Arsenal in the top 4 and get less pressure on his back and try and win week in, week out. Suddenly, if you're doing that and Arsenal, Aubameyang and Lacazette are Lacazette's in decent form to this year. Aubameyang returns. For me, Martinelli reminds people, suddenly there's a lack of game time. So for Balogun, yeah, it was great. The video, you've been an Arsenal fan for life. Yeah, he was, he made a big song and dance on social media of his future. Yes, us as fans were happy he stays, but it's, the only people that could benefit if it goes wrong if you don't play is us. Because you can, we'll say, all right, it didn't work out. We'll still make money on you, or we get a player. So I'd say for Balogun, he's at that level where it's ruthless now. There's no friends in this. You've got to fight with Balogun, Tyrese, John. Well, you got to fight with Tyrese and Eddie to prove you deserve a chance ahead of them. You've got to fight to show the manager I deserve a chance ahead of Martinelli. Forget Saka and Aubameyang. Play me. You've got to show Arteta he has no reason to leave you out, to the point where anytime he thinks about tactics, he sees you in his dreams. This football is real now. It's not about, he's in the first team now. It's back to 0. Nobody cares what you did at 23's level. Nobody cares. It doesn't matter. It's about what you're doing now. And the man needs a chance, but things are getting real for all them young players. For Joe Willock, for Eddie, it gets real. For Maitland, it's got real. For Nelson, it's real. Once you get out that bubble, you're in the real world in a footballing sense. No one cares how special you are. It's not Arsenal fans gassing you. And you know me, I love hailing players. I'm saying this because I love them. Nobody cares. Nobody gives a crap. Even the fans, they're saying Balogun this, Balogun that, despite not seeing 10 games from him. Balogun misses a chance, a tap-in, and we could have got 3 points. You know how it happens. And that will happen. He's developing. These things happen. He misses a chance. The other team go ahead and counter-attack. What are fans going to say? He gets 10 games. He looks shaky. What are fans going to say? It's real life now. And I think he will get there. But fans just need a bit of patience with these young players, man, because they've made out Balogun is an established star and he's not right now. I think he's got all the potential in the world, but fans have to allow these players to develop. The manager needs to have the balls to play these players, because I can't lie. I know Arteta can sit around and say he's played, man, but Saka is an anomaly. Smith Rowe only came in when you kind of had to, didn't really play Maitland now. Sold Reece Nelson a dream. When push comes to shove, you was relying on these experienced players, and 9 times out of 10, they've let you down. And if they haven't let you down necessarily, they've said, cool, we're busting out. Xhaka's probably said, you know what, gentleman's agreement, brother, I'm leaving next year. David Luiz has said, bro, don't quote me, I might bust out next year. Leno has said, you know what, I want to try something else. Bellerin's been trying to get that move. Whether he's got the juice or the minerals, I don't know. But it's a difficult one. Eddie rubbed himself out because he's not levels in it, but Eddie's of the same trail of thought. You get, football's real now. It's not about how good you are. It's not about how special you are. Nobody cares. Your parents care. Your family care. Nobody cares. The same rope you climb up on, they'll hang you with. It's that real, man. I'm not optimistic. I don't trust these men to do what needs to be done. We've been in a transitional period for 5 years now, it feels like. If we stay in the same position on the table for the next few years, we're going to lose players like Martinelli, Saka, and Balogun, just like Fabregas and them. 100%. Finesse the like button, people. Come on, just one touch FC. That simple, people. Arteta was forced to bring in the young because Willian failed. Now they saved his bacon, man. Did you see Saka becoming that 8.5 over the next few years? You know, Saka can play centrally, but I think we've just got to stay with him playing on the left and the right, man. Who's winning the Prem next season? No clue, but you know, I'd say between Chelsea, Liverpool, and City, in my opinion. Oh, sorry, Yoni. I apologize, man. I apologize. Wasn't saying Gabriel individually isn't good enough for the team, but him in conjunction with Willian is a horrible summer window. Facts. You're right on that. Apologies, man. I read incorrect. DG, which youth player from Arsenal has the highest ceiling? Martinelli for me. Saka too. But there's just something about Martinelli, man. I think he's scrappy with a lot of things. He needs to polish up and stuff, but I think there's something there, man. If you have to think twice about playing for Arsenal, move on. That's facts. But at the same time, we need to realize where we're at. And we need to realize that while I agree with you, that's a very emotional response. We need to look at it like these men never grew up in England. They never grew up as Arsenal fans. It's a business. Do I think some of these players are very cheeky for wanting moves because they were part of this madness and have been part of it? Yes. But, you know, if you're 28, 29, you've seen the team mess up. You know the team needs to rebuild, and you think I can play Europe, I can get a decent contract, I can get better offers and stuff elsewhere, or there'll be a team elsewhere. Because even the rubbish players at this team, they must, based on what I hear Xhaka, Leno, half of these men say, it's like they're all looking at each other like, you're a joke, man, you're a joke, man. So there must be something in that regards, man. Please don't spam though. Nothing's gonna get rid. As always, DG, it's the hope that kills us. Groundhog, 100%. 100%. I don't think Emery had the balls to play a lot of young players. I think that's a bit rich, but I see where you're going, man. Martinelli is still raw. The right coaching could have properly developed into what we think he'll be. And that's the thing. You can have Gabriel, you know, you can have Gabriel Martinelli, Saliba, you know, couple of other Smith Rowe, couple of other young players. You can have all of them and say they've got the potential to be this and that and the other. But what do you need to do to get them there? You know, how do you get there? You know? You can't become an elite plumber if you ain't, you know, if you ain't cut your hand a couple of times, can you? Or an elite dressmaker. Do you get it? It's how we get them to there, man. You'll never get there if there's thinking twice, 100%. But I think we've got to be logical. It's like when we buy a player. It's like when man sit there and say, if Arsenal isn't the only decision you've got, forget about it. When it's not that, you know, you present a project, other clubs present a project, and it's just down to the player. You know, you'd be surprised how many players actually don't love clubs. I know this guy speak to them, man. It don't always have to be an emotional thing, but you are right. Big up Sheldon from Jamaica. I appreciate you. Good opinion, interesting comments. Please don't spam. I will purposely air what you're saying. It's not going to get read if you spam. Like, come on, you're messing things up for people. Do you think we should put young players like Aziz in front of El Nene in the pecking order? He's a young man. The conditions need to be right. But I would like to see Miguel Aziz make some football and make some first team football appearances next season. DG, do you think we can make top 4 next season? I hope so, but unless no signings come in and the manager keeps messing about with his formations and all those things, then we won't do the minimum I believe in, which I believe should at least be making a meal of things, man. Always good having you here at night in Australia. Big up yourself, and I'll be back on shortly. A man said, hey, from Croatia. Big up yourself, Anthony. On the topic of Croatia, folks, make sure you've all hit your reminders, hit the like button and all those sort of things, because after this, it's England versus Croatia in about 95 minutes exactly, people. So I'd love to see you all there. I hope you're all there, man. So, yeah, moving away from that, though. Let's move that. What else have we got? In relation to Granit Xhaka, people, where should I put that? Xhaka latest. Apologies, people. You know me, I got to do these timestamp. I saw this article online. Where is it? Let's remove that. Roma, Arsenal still negotiating for Xhaka. Let me zoom in a bit because some of you like to read. Roma and Arsenal remain locked in negotiations for Granit Xhaka, despite hope that a deal would be placed by this weekend. The two clubs have been in discussions for the Swiss international for almost 1 month. However, they still haven't reached a full agreement regarding the transfer fee. Roma claim that the Gunners rejected their latest offer for the midfielder, marking the second time they've increased their bid, yet saw it rejected. At the moment, Roma do not intend to raise their offer, and we'll see how the situation evolves over the coming days. Xhaka already has a contract agreement in place with Roma and was optimistic that the transfer would be in place before Switzerland began their 2020 campaign, Euro 2020. However, the club will require additional time to find an understanding before the 28-year-old receives the green light to join Roma. And I do think he spoke on his future and played very coy and gave the very diplomatic response, but I can't see it. Let me type in Arsenal. It was up there. There it is, people. Well, come on, man. Leave me alone with them cookies. As you lot can see here, people, or as you better yet, you can't see what's going on there. What has gone on there? But we're back. Don't know what that was, but Granit Xhaka has insisted that he is paying no attention to speculation about his future as he continues to be linked with a move away from Arsenal. Scrolling all the way down, I'm 100% focused here with the national team. Sorry, people. There are always rumors as soon as the transfer market opens, but I don't want to talk about my future. I am 100% focused here with the national team. What happens afterwards, you will then get to know about it. There you have it, people. As you know, he scored 1 goal and made 2 assists in 31 appearances. And, you know, if you're ever going to build your house on the sand like you do when you do build around the players like Granit Xhaka, you're not going to get very far, in my humble opinion. But anyways, people, also, in relation to Lucas Torreira, I can't lie, I really hate the name Lucas Torreira. Seeing his face now, nothing to do with what's happened in terms of personal tragedy, but away from that, anytime, I always say, anytime you speak about Lucas Torreira, it's about a move. It's not for being a good footballer. But allegedly, Fiorentina could make a move for Arsenal midfielder Lucas Torreira this summer, having been interested in him for some time. Hopefully, man, I want to see the back of this guy, man. And they've also got several targets as well. Apparently, the Italian side are constantly working and continuing to look around at who may be available and want to have several plans and several different options so they're not caught out. So is Torreira a target or is he an option? It appears that he is an option. That is where Arsenal's Torreira comes into the mix. He's a player that they have always liked, and he's been linked to the club on several occasions in the past. He's returning to Arsenal from a loan with Atletico and has made it clear he wants to move away from the Emirates this year. His preferred destination would be Boca Juniors, something he's made clear on more than one occasion, but that is a hard deal to get done. So in relation to Lucas Torreira, it just looks like more media tosh, people. But we'll have to see what happens. Oh, what's going on there? In relation to Joe Willock, I don't know why I've got Joe Willock here, because I must have been trying to make a private vid because there's nothing on Joe Willock there, but there's that. What's all of this? I'll leave that. If you care about Correa, we've been linked with Correa. Apparently, Correa's agent has been in touch with Arsenal and Everton in recent weeks ahead of a possible move this summer. According to an Italian-based website, they report that a possible departure from Lazio this summer, and several teams in the Premier League have Correa in their sights. Arsenal and Everton are chief among them, and according to their information, the forwards agents has been in contact with both clubs in the past few weeks. Arsenal in particular are very keen and said to be fascinated by Correa's potential. An issue though is his asking price. They don't want to go beyond 20 million euros plus bonuses for him, but Lazio value him at 35 million and have no intention of opening negotiations at a lower price than that. That's because the player is also of interest to new manager Sarri and his staff, who would be happy to keep hold of him, but have budgeted for a departure under the right circumstances. Whether Everton are interested or what they are willing to pay isn't mentioned, just that they've been contacted. At this point, it is between them and the Gunners, although Mikel Arteta's side seem keener than the Premier League counterparts. Maybe that's because they've got hammers and attacking players. Now, the common link is he is a creative man, but I don't really buy the links to this. They were linked with Lucas Torreira previously, so there could be some middle ground in that regards, people. But apart from that, I actually don't think there's anything in that regards that we can talk about, really. That makes sense. So in relation to Correa, I think that's That's that one, man. Really and truly. Arsenal and Everton in that's that really and truly. So yeah, people, man. Obviously, there's actually nothing more to talk about from a transfer perspective. So what are you lot saying? Also, as I said, make sure you're at the England versus Croatia watch along. So we'll see, man. What else have we got? Hey, big up my guy Tolu, man. Hey, superstars and that. I appreciate that, man. Hopefully he can do good in the Copa America. Hopefully, man, that means he's gone, isn't it? You know, I actually I love Torreira, bro. Torreira could pass a football, and I'd be here on my YouTube channel saying no one can pass a ball like him, but something's gone wrong, innit? Something's gone wrong. And I just don't want to hear about him, man. Do you think Arteta's overcoaching kills us at times? Looks like players are afraid to use their instincts. Look at the players on loan do well. Maybe not necessarily in that regards, but I do think in the final third they're overcoached because there's no fluidity, there's no creativity, there's no, like you said, being able to rely on instinct and stuff. And the rare occasions we have seen that, you know, you've seen Smith Rowe, Lacazette, Saka, Tierney at times. They've all linked up and scored some good goals and done some good things, man. DG, the gift that keeps on giving. I hope that's a good. I hope that's a good thing. But yeah, man, what's the deal with Onana? Apparently we're in for him, but it's gone quiet, isn't it? Apparently 7 million euros. I know if it really is 7 million euros. I've got complete confidence in Arsenal's ability to get that one over the line. If I'm completely honest with you guys, man, but it is what it is. Hopefully, Xhaka keeps having good performances this Euro to raise interest and value, bro. I'm not going to say he was amazing for Switzerland against Wales, but I could not believe the amount of times Granit Xhaka was passing the ball forward. It made me think you're doing things on purpose at Arsenal. Is what it is, man. What's your opinion on Arteta's man management? I do think there's been plenty of good examples of it, but I do think there's been too many times where I've looked at it and said, "What's going on with Saliba? How comes Pepe's not in? What's going on with Nelson? Why is Saka overplaying? Why aren't we managing the fitness of Partey well? What's happened with Gabriel? You know, why is Leno still playing when he shouldn't have when he should have been dropped? Why has he been dropped when he's deserved it? You know, there's too many ones where you're sitting there and you're like, why is that? Why is this? Why is that? And then it adds up. And then you're like, what's going on there? You can see why people could become disgruntled. Saying that though, I can't get at him for Pepe, and I can't not say get at him for Pepe and not praise him because I do think he's got a tune out of Pepe. I think Pepe, one thing Arteta's been able to do is drum it into Pepe's head that you can't play within yourself and you need to be in the game at all times. Now you see it. He's heading, he's defending, he's doing everything. Where before he'd be quiet and then you might just see a bit of technical brilliance. You know, I think you would have got this a long term sooner if you actually played the man. But you know, I think he's done that sort of thing there, man. But I can't lie to you lot, people. You know, I'm gonna have to stop this one because obviously we're working to a tight schedule. You know, it's lunchtime. I'm gonna go get some lunch and then I'll be back for the England versus Croatia. And then after that, we're doing Netherlands, people. So yeah, man, content galore. Sorry if you've just tuned in and things. I'll be back again at 11, probably 11:30 tomorrow. Let's go back to a normal times. It's just we're working under mad conditions, man. But yeah, make sure you're all there, people, and I'll catch you lot in a bit, man. What have you said though? Last one. Didn't we hire some guy from the medical staff of PSG and let him go a few months after? Doesn't make sense. Apparently, he was on a certain fixed term contract. So, to be fair, it was going to have to happen. One more season for Arteta. That's it. Even half a season, in my opinion, until Christmas. No more talk. Gone. For me, I agree with you. I'll give him till Christmas. That doesn't mean I'm just going to sit there and condone things, but I just think he's gone. If he does several things wrong, he's gone by Christmas. He might not make it there. But yeah, man, I'll see you lot soon. On that note, though, I'm out. Hit the like button, comment, subscribe if you haven't. I'm out.